I was looking through my notes and I actually had this idea written down, but I wanted to talk about sequel albums today, even sequel songs. Are there some that you like? Do you think that is something worth doing? And kind of have that conversation. So obviously I have to start with some Mariah Carey. We have the Emancipation Mimi and E equals MC squared. And to those who do not know, she basically said that E equals MC squared is a sequel to Emancipation Mimi, and I'll show it right here. So this is straight from the Wikipedia page. So it said that the album title was something different, and then it was changed to equals MC squared in reference to Carey's previous album, The Emancipation Mimi 2005. The title signifies E, emancipation equals of MC Mariah Carey to the second power. So yeah, there's that there. And then she basically said that the Mimi album was the main course and this was the, so she basically confirmed that this was kind of like a sequel to it in some fashion. So in terms of what I think of both albums, I like both of these albums. I do think Emancipation of Mimi was the better album. And so I will definitely say, I think a lot of times whenever people do sequel albums, it's them putting a lot of pressure on themselves because you have to live up to the greatness of that first album. And I just don't feel E equals MC squared is as good as the Emancipation Mimi, to be honest with you. I think it's a good album. There was a lot of good stuff. I'm That Chick, that was kind of aforementioned. I really like I Wish You Well. That definitely has to be one of my favorites, of course. Touch My Body was a classic. Side Effects was really good on this album as well. So there's definitely some ones that I think are really, really good and worth listening to. I'll Be Loving You Long Time is certainly a favorite for me. And then also I have to give some love to I Stay in Love, which was a great moment as well. But in comparison to the Emancipation Mimi, it was just a juggernaut. It was just a juggernaut. We Belong Together, #1 for 14 weeks, as we know. And then she also had It's Like That, which I agree with someone saying that it should be the New Year's anthem because that song is great. And then other stuff that I really like, Circles was a great moment on this album. I also really enjoyed Fly Like a Bird, of course. That one tends to be a fan favorite. I believe she released that as a promotional single. So that was definitely a song that really stood out to me for sure. And then I also really enjoyed stuff like Joyride, for example. I think there was a lot of gems on this album. Shake It Off was a great moment, and she blocked herself from being #1 because We Belong Together was so huge at the time. It was just a big era. It's just everything. Yeah, I just think Emancipation was the better album. There's some lambs who say that equals MC squared is top 5, and I disagree with you there. Another example, and I haven't listened to My Life 2, but Mary J. Blige is a sequel to My Life. I thought My Life was a great album, for the record, but I heard some of my friends say that My Life 2 was good, it was underrated, and then I heard some people say it wasn't good. And this was, I think, in the 2000s that she did a sequel, so I think she waited over 10 years to do it. So let me know if My Life 2 was good in your opinion, but I hear varying things. Another one that came to mind was Never Fergie did the Duchess, I believe, 2005, 2006, and then Double Duchess. I think this was like 2016, 2017. Double Duchess got a lot of hate. I think this is around the time she did the MILF Money song, if I remember correctly. People were not going up for Double Duchess. I don't think it was received well in any fashion. I don't get why you would wait over 10 years after you did the original album to do a sequel to it, but I mean, hey, that's just my opinion. I don't know if some people count this, but Act 2, I don't know, in a sense, kind of feels like a sequel to Act 1 by Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if you would count it or not, and she kind of put it together as a deluxe. I don't know. I think Act 2 is better in that regard. In terms of sequel songs, something kind of in that vein, this is Mariah Carey again, but she did a song with Busta Rhymes, and it was called I Know What You Want. This was like 2002, 2003, around that time. And then years ago, they did a song called Where I Belong, and to be honest with you, I do not care for When I Belong. It wasn't good. Mariah carried a song, but there's only so much she can do. No pun intended. And so that was that. I don't know. I'm not really that big on I Know What You Want to begin with, so you had that situation as well. I don't know if I can think about other sequel songs, but yeah, let me know in the comments sequel songs that you like, sequel albums that you like. Is it something worth doing? Is it something not worth doing? In my opinion, I would rather people stay away from sequel albums or sequel songs because it's really hard to live up to the greatness of the first one. You're putting an exorbitant amount of pressure on your fans and stuff like that, and I feel like sometimes people wait 10-15 years later because they want to bring that nostalgia and kind of reinvigorate their career, but 9 times out of 10 it doesn't work. Just title it something else, because people are just going to be disappointed it's not being as good, just call it something else. So that's what I think, and let me know down below in the comments, what are some sequel albums that you enjoyed? Are there any ones that lived up to the hype for you or didn't really? I know Lil Wayne has the Carter series, so yeah, there's artists who have that thing.